There are some features coming to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 that I think are an absolute must for the next version of Warzone, not only to massively improve how Warzone is going to work and function, but also add a huge fun factor back into the game. We have seen some really solid announcements about features coming to Black Ops 6 that will also feature in Warzone. For example, omnidirectional movement is coming to the game, and the ability to customize your HUD in its entirety is coming too, and both of these are going to be phenomenally good things for Warzone. But some of the lesser thought about ones I feel are the ones that are going to be even more important, and I really hope that we see them come to Call of Duty Warzone rather than not. The first thing we have to talk about is Call of Duty's new Theater mode coming to Black Ops 6. Now, Theater mode is a phenomenal thing for a lot of simplistic reasons. It allows you to relive moments, it allows you to break down plays, and if you've ever seen any of Codcaster from the last year's World Series of Warzone, then you know it could be a phenomenal feature in Warzone. As somebody who focuses a lot on dissecting gameplay, other than actually having a raw first-person POV, it's really difficult to see the flow of the game and see how you could individually improve your movements, how you approach games, and how you approach things generally. And not having a theater mode means that very few players are able to go back into their own gameplay and see those moments, the things they get right and the things they get wrong. And even more crucially than that, Call of Duty Warzone is known for having phenomenally cool moments that just happen to happen. Whether it's a random moment here or there, like somebody being squished by a crate, or a really cool play like a 1v3 or 1v4. Being able to go back and relive these moments I feel could be a huge asset for Warzone going forward, and I can't even fathom to begin to think about the number of things we haven't seen on YouTube or social media or clips generally speaking that were achieved in game but just somebody at the time wasn't recording. It's effectively free PR for Warzone, it's a win-win scenario that lets players improve their gameplay and see how other players are approaching Battle Royale as well, and it's absolutely just a match made in heaven. But arguably, the missing thing about Theater mode for me is how much it could greatly improve Call of Duty's anti-cheat system. Because with the ability to go back and see everybody's perspective and context as to what occurred in a gunfight, it would allow players to universally make far more accurate reports than ever before in Warzone. Now, the anti-cheat system, as far as I'm aware in Call of Duty Warzone, although this hasn't necessarily been confirmed, probably has a trust rating system where players' reports are either considered to be taken more seriously or less seriously based on how often they report opponents. And if they could get a system whereby people could use the theater mode to make more consistently accurate reports, they could likely catch more cheaters by using Call of Duty's theater mode than they could previously. As somebody who streams the game full time, even I occasionally make mistakes. Sometimes there's a UAV up when I didn't think there was a UAV up, or sometimes I'm more audible and making more noise than I realize I'm making. And it's little differentiations of context that can really create the divide whether something is an accurate report for a cheater or a less accurate report for a cheater. Now, Theater mode is without a doubt a really demanding thing to achieve in an open server environment with multiple players, and definitely harder to do than what is happening in multiplayer. But if it could be done, it could be absolutely monumental for Warzone. And if they could get Codcaster functioning all the time for Warzone customs, it would really facilitate the growth of the private game community and also facilitate the growth of Warzone's competitive environment, which is seeing a lot of investment at the moment and a lot of tournaments going on that would greatly benefit from having a Codcaster system. The next big thing I want to talk about is miniature modes. Now, this is something that I've seen a lot of in the past in Call of Duty Black Ops games, and Black Ops games in particular were the games that, to me, made modes that were iconic. Call of Duty Black Ops has featured great things like Sticks and Stones, Gun Game, One in the Chamber, and Sharpshooter, and all of these are really nice original spins on these modes that have kind of been made famous by the Black Ops genre in my view. Pretty much everybody can remember playing Sticks and Stones at some point or another on Nuketown. It's an iconic part of the game, and it would be a shame to see it not influence its way into something like Warzone. These are the kinds of iconic minigames like One in the Chamber that would do absolute numbers as limited time modes available in Warzone, and I think it would be a real swing and a miss by the guys at Call of Duty if they didn't integrate them. A mass mode of One in the Chamber, a mass mode of Gun Game, a mass mode of Sticks and Stones or Sharpshooter would be absolutely phenomenal. I don't think we could talk about Call of Duty Black Ops without talking about zombies. And whilst round-based zombies is absolutely phenomenal to have back, and I don't think we should mess with that formula or take anything away from it, I would love to see more of a dedicated integration between Call of Duty Zombies and Call of Duty Warzone. Zombie Royale, to this day, as a Halloween limited time mode, is one of the most successful modes in Warzone in terms of hype, in terms of energy, and in terms of positivity. And I think it'd be a damned shame to have all of those round-based zombies mechanics, all of those rare weapons and upgrades and random gobblegums that are going to come into the equation, and not have them feature in Call of Duty Warzone at some point or another. Now look, I'm not asking for a permanent hybrid mode, but it would be really cool if we could see every once in a while a zombies influence within Warzone that takes the game into new and exciting places. Maybe the Perca-Cola system comes into the map and that's how you gather perks. Maybe we see limited time zombies weapons appearing within Warzone in a limited time mode. Or maybe even we actually copy round-based zombies and use it as a Warzone mechanic, with increasing amounts of zombies in the gas that will progressively move closer and closer to the center of the circle. The final thing I would really love to see is kind of a paying homage, if you will, to the existing Black Ops franchise, but I think it would be really cool for Warzone. Now, Call of Duty Black Ops has some pretty iconic maps. I'm just going to go through a few because a lot of these are going to hit home. We have Nuketown, we have the Berlin Wall map, we have Firing Range, Launch, Cracked, Havana, Jungle, Summit. We have all of these maps, Silo, Stockpile, Radiation, Discovery, Hotel. Obviously, we even have things, and all of those were just off of Black Ops 1. We haven't even talked about things like Hijacked, which is an absolutely phenomenal map that pretty much everybody will remember. And we even have things like Hunted from Black Ops 3. There are just so many of these maps throughout the Black Ops era, and arguably even the World at War era as well, if that's something you wanted to include. I mean, think of Raid even. Raid is probably one of the most iconic maps in Call of Duty history. And none of them have ever really featured in Call of Duty at this point beyond those original games or remasters. We haven't seen any of the layouts for those maps feature across any of the Warzone maps so far, and Warzone has had a number of the original Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, and even Modern Warfare 3 maps featuring within the game itself. I would love for me to go into Warzone and land in a point of interest that is hijacked from Black Ops 2, or go into an area that has the same layout as Raid from Black Ops 2. There are just so many options of what they could achieve and how they could sprinkle these maps in and around a Warzone map that not only would really show some all-time classics into the larger game mode, but also actually create some really good map flow. The Black Ops 2 maps, Black Ops 1 maps, and even some of the Black Ops 3 and 4 maps were iconic because of the flow of gameplay that they produced and the amount of cover that they produced in the game as well. You throw in a couple of Black Ops gadgets, like potentially even grappling hooks, then we're onto something that could be truly special. I think it would be a real swing and a miss for Call of Duty to not include some of these maps in the Warzone map, so I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let me know if there's a feature that you specifically want from Black Ops 6 in the comment section down below, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.